Hello guys, in this video I'm going to talk about React 19 new features the React team made in great again. There are few new features are available like they discussed about in their official page. Number one is React compiler. Now one is useMemo, useCallback and Memo. It will go to replace with the React compiler and the actions and the SEO they're improving and user server they're going to do it in more enhance about the use server and use client hooks, and as well as the react canary they will go to cover it in directives, document metadata and assist loading and actions. And let's go and have a look into their official page and what they're trying to explain, and we'll go through it in one by one. And here if I'm going to in official page is official page, so what they're going to talk about in mostly. So here guys in React compiler they talked about in React compiler what it is going to do it in React compiler, as I mentioned earlier, this is for use memo, use callback and react.memo. We know how these three are working, like in use memo hook and use callback hook, use and react.memo. That is for manual memorization and it will go to improve the performance of the page, right? And so that's the purpose we are using. The same way React compiler, no need to write in use memo, use callback and react.memo, and rather than that, and they are going to introduce the React compiler, and they will you need to write it in directly, and I will go to show you that page as well guys, and that these guys are React team is discussed about in the blog about this one, and we'll go to see in that page as well why React compiler, how this one is working. So and yeah, that's all for the React compiler guys. And in detail, like in they introduced in few more things in React compiler, like number one is a strict mode, another one is a reactjs lint plugin, right? In the extensions, Visual Studio Code have the extensions about that. So ultimately they have we can integrate this one. And strict mode, strict mode, right? And how this strict mode is working, let me show you guys and how that one is working in strict mode. Here if you're coming over here in the strict mode, by default we know the components fragment we have, profiler we have, strict mode we have, and suspense we have. Strict mode lets you find common bugs in your components early during the development. That's purpose we are using. We know JavaScript strict mode how we are using, the same way they implemented about this one guys, I hope. And let's go and have a look in another one about in this page itself. So okay, let's discuss a bit in more in detail in actions. So in this actions, so actions is allow you pass to the function to DOM elements, like in such as the form, like in we have the DOM element, right? In the form there's an action search is there, it will go to search the particular. If you're submitting, the action function can operate synchronously or asynchronously. You can define them on the client side using the standard JavaScript on the server side, like in we have the other things like in use server directive and use client directive. And when using an action, React will manage the life cycle of the data submission for providing the hooks like use form status and use form state, and access the current state and response from the form action. So they are doing, and this one is an enhance. And as well as by default actions are submitted within the transition, keeping the current page and interactive and async and await, and is pending state transition and async and await, and wait for the page starts, and pending UI the way through the update being applied the same way. And they are doing in some more enhance about the use optimistic hook as well. I think managing the optimistic state updates and with this hook as well, temporary updates and automatically reverted once the final state commits. And these are all a few things guys. And then I would like to talk about Canary channel, React Canary. They are going to introduce in few more new features. That one is directives, use client and use server. In this one, what they are going to do it in using these two, while use server tells in bundler generate a post endpoint, like in TRPS mutations guys, in like TypeScript. This one I will go to paste this link as well in my description guys, in this description. So just you can go through it in this description as well. Okay, So how that one is working. So they are going to introduce in document metadata, maybe title, meta, link, and all this stuff, and as well as asset loading and actions. And all, yeah, we discussed about the actions already. That's all, guys, in this thing about the React 19 features. Let's go and discuss about in detail in what it is there in here. So there are a few things, guys, and I would like to discuss with you. Like in React 19 is the first major React release in since 2022. We know that the biggest change in this release introducing of a compiler that automatically optimize React code performance, reducing unnecessary re-rendering and improving user experience, right? Yeah, and it works by rewriting code based on its understanding of JavaScript and as well as the React rules without changing the core mental model of React. The React compiler is especially useful for complex data visualization components that frequently pre-render, and it can significantly boost the re-rendering speed and smoothness. Yes, this way, developers will be able to focus on core business logic, guys, and of their apps, worrying less about traditional optimization tools such as useMemo and useCallback. Additionally, like in React 19, as I mentioned, like in they enhance up the strict mode checks, and they help to catch you the potential bugs and errors in your code while implementing itself. Let's go and check in another page, guys, and as I said, like so this one is the little bit in official page, guys. There is another blog, this one, so about the in detail about the React compiler. So how this React compiler work in background, what is the use memo cache, how this one is entry once you are writing a normal component. This is the normal component, guys, child component. They're introducing the props and the latest styles is equal to colors and return that particular component JSX element, and then he wrote it in background in this much to handle that one, guys. So don't worry in too much about the use memo cache hook, and it is an internal API used by the compiler to cache values. Think of the dollar as an array. The React compiler can memorize the JSX too, but I am leaving in the first in brevity. But in this guys, this React team is leave this one as a brevity, and they are explained in detail if they're passing in more props and how this one is working, guys. That's what they are trying to explain. That's all, guys, in this video. I hope in we can understand about the what is the React 19 features, how they are working. But in I'm not pretty sure, guys, but just I have an official documentation. That's just I gone through that official documentation. I prepared this video, but they will go to release in tomorrow or day after tomorrow, the official full of the hooks and React compiler, how those are all working in clearly, and then we can understand in more in detail. So yeah, in yeah, that's it, that's all, guys. And if you like this content, guys, and please subscribe and encourage me, and I will go to make it in more content in future, guys. And thank you, guys. That's all in this video.